Welcome back to part 2 of the evolution of the tomato horned caterpillar. As you can see, they have started to change colors. This is the cocooning process that has begun. What we are going to be doing now is we're going to be removing them from the tanks, and we were told that it's just some regular potting mix or dirt, because they will need to burrow in order to complete the cocooning process. So here we go. The process is really simple. As you see the other half of my brain in the picture, just very carefully going to remove them. Even though they don't bite, it's just the one she's trying to grab sometimes gives her problems and tries to squirm out of the way.
He doesn't like me. How does it, that one does fine with me. No, that's the one that doesn't like me. That one only does fine with me.
See, just set them off to the side.
If you already have open dirt at home, use that. A friend of ours gave us this. It's been just sitting on his porch. So, here we go.
There is no need to fill the entire thing up. Just probably about halfway should suffice. And if you had the ability to have gardening gloves, I would suggest gardening gloves, but so probably just a little bit more. So we want to get it at least halfway so they have enough room.
If you see what I'm doing, if you guys ever garden or plant other plants or whatever, you know there's big clumps and you get in here and you break them down. That's what I'm doing right now. What is that?
Plant food. It's not going to hurt them.
They mainly burrow in the tomato plants that they feed off of, but because we took these from my mother, I didn't have the capability of getting any of the dirt she already had in the feeder, where the tomatoes are. So come on. As you see,
Perfect.
it's coming out in clumps, which is fine for us.
That's going to be the perfect amount right there.
So what I'm gonna do is one dust my hands off again, which there seems to be no point because I'm just gonna get right back in the dirt. But if you can, avoid getting like the sticks or whatever in here, because you don't want them to hurt themselves while they're burrowing. Because their shells are soft shells. Yes, they do turn into hard shells, but still, it can hurt them. And you do not want them to get hurt in the process of them trying to burrow. That and the sticks can also get stuck in their shell while they're trying to burrow. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos on them already, on how they burrow and stuff. And yes, we could have left this with no dirt on. As you see, they're already started the burrowing process. But I'm going to do this because, as you can see from the sides, this dirt is wet, and yes, it is warm.
Well,
So
you
it's
saw
gonna
videos
help.
on other caterpillars that burrow.
Yeah, it was a tomato worm that burrowed, a tomato caterpillar that burrows and stuff like that. But they also did suggest that you do keep the sticks and stuff away from them because it can hurt them in their
Oh, that's
cocooning
right.
process.
It's the video that all that video really did was flash pictures of their process. Our video is to show you the actual process itself, not just flash pictures of the process. These videos are actual processes.
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna, since their shell's already starting to harden and they really can't move much, what I'm gonna do is make like a little bedding here for them, right here. So I know, not too much down, but so I know where they're at. And then I'll leave a marker when I cover them back up.
For when we
So when I uncover
do
them
part
and show
3
you.
and show the next process.
All right, guys, ready? Hey, you, don't roll. Don't roll. Go ahead.
No.
You want to make sure that they are flat as can be, like that. That one was on his side a little. He or she was on their side a little. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover them back up. See you guys in a little while. Cover you guys up. Make sure you stay up. Make sure while I'm doing this, I'm also getting the twigs and stuff that I didn't get. Ooh, no. Don't hurt yourself by doing that. So this is all I'm doing is putting a little dirt over them, covering up them enough. You can still see the head over here on this one. I haven't covered up the head yet. See the heads? I haven't covered them up yet completely. You can see there's one here. And then the other one, oh, well, the other one, I guess I did cover it all the way up already. He's over, oh no, yeah, he's over here. So, I'm just gonna grab a little pinch of dirt and just do that. And they're all covered up now. So, my marker, that works too if you have like the dried leaves and stuff in here with them. Or you can get like a little wood bark.
Yeah, we're good.
But or you can put like the little leaves over, indicating, sorry, my speech is off today, indicating where they are. As you see, I kind of pushed it down in the dirt so it'll stay there. So, but I also have to remember on how deep they are, because if I don't remember how deep I did it, I may go too deep and knock them out. So, but I can also have it to where it is still, you see I'm pushing it out to where I can also indicate that way too. But if you are to move your enclosure or whatever, if you're capable on getting one like this and you move it a lot, the dirt will move. You do know dirt moves. So you may not be able to keep it steady and keep it like this to where, oh, I don't remember where I put them. It's always good to have something right on top of them and say, hey, this is where they are. So I'm gonna go ahead, and the dirt is nice and moist. It's nice and wet. It's silly truck. Yes, we are at a truck stop because we had stuff we had to take care of. So I'm covering them back up, and as you saw before, I had pantyhose over it. I'm still gonna do that. Yes, they cannot get out. Why, you ask? I still do it just to keep other little critters or whatever, like little other bugs or whatever out. Now that I don't have to move, well, I have to move the handle, but I don't have to move the handle, I'm gonna take that part that I cut and just roll it up and tie it. That way I know for sure nothing's gonna get to them, nothing's gonna harm them. So this is what it looks like afterwards. You can see, like I said, the dirt is nice and wet. And if they so choose to move away from the spot that I put them in, nice, not a problem. I'll go looking for them and show you guys later on another video on how they're doing. So this is the end of part 2.
Now just remember that every now and then check the dirt. If it looks to getting a little dry, all you have to do, just take like a little spray bottle, spritz it a couple times, but try very hard not to get it too wet because you might still drown them.
Yes, do not get it too wet. Like he said, get a spray bottle. And as you can see on this one, you can see the holes of where I have taken it off so many times. And when we get back to the house, I'll put the other one on that doesn't have the hole cut. So, but this is what I have temporarily until we get back to the house. But I know nothing's going to get in there, even with those little holes right now. I know nothing's going to get in there and harm them. So, for right now, you can see the moisture because it is warm and it is wet. They said just put them in a warm, wet area. But if you don't have the capability of keeping it warm and you're doing this in the middle of summer, I do not suggest on keeping it really in your house, unless you keep your house at about 75 in the middle of summer, which there are people that do that. That does say that they do want the sunlight and stuff, but do what you feel is safe to you that you won't.
If you have a porch or a patio, go ahead and leave them out there for a little bit, but some people don't, so just leave it somewhere where you know no one will mess around with it.
Part of your house, like he said, that you can do that too, even if you have like a warm part of your house, like the kitchen or even the window, and you don't have cats and dogs or anything that'll scratch at this, then you can put it in there because the sunlight is a natural heating lamp. So, but check the dirt every once in a while. All you got to do is like stick your finger in, and if the dirt feels too dry to you, get a water bottle and just spritz it down. If you feel more comfortable on leaving them uncovered and let them burrow themselves, that's even works too, because you can have the dirt already at the process of where they can burrow. Unfortunately, we didn't have the dirt at that point in time to where they can burrow themselves, and that would have drove me crazy anyways, because I would have been trying to figure out where they were. So I did that our way of thinking, and just left them on paper towel, wet paper towels, because we did have the bowl of water in there, and I did find out that they can't get in the water dish, and I had to wet down the paper towel so they could have something to drink. They do suckle, so if you're going to have them on paper towel and everything, do expect them to suckle, but make sure that you have it wet enough to where they have enough to drink, and have it to where it's the green tomato plants, leaves, and have plenty of food on standby. If you get them as babies, it's even better because you have more of videos to show people on how to do this. We caught them in the middle of actually getting ready to start this process. As you saw in our first video, we had them where they were pretty big. So we had them, they were, from what I looked up and everything and understood, they were 2 stages away from doing this. So I will check on them tomorrow, but I won't do a video tomorrow. When I see that they have cocooned a little bit more, I'll do another video, and we'll show you part 3. By the time we get to part 4, we're hoping we have the moths and they'll be up above the dirt. When you do get your moths, They will be a little sluggish at first, so it's going to take them a little while to learn actually how to fly on their own, much like a baby bird. It takes a little minute for their wings to start working.
But all that will come when we get to the 4th video.
Yep. And then on that 4th video, when they do actually start flying and we see them to where they're stuck to the top of the inside of the lid, we will release them. It is actually keen to release them when you see them starting to want to fly anyways, so they're not trying to mate in your box. Because as soon as they mate in your box, they're going to want to lay the eggs in your box. And
which wouldn't be too bad of a problem, but
bad of an issue. But then that would mean I'd have to plant a tomato with this, which, hey, I don't have a problem doing that. And it ensures that they will be around more and they won't go extinct. Right now, it is 1 in a million to actually see a hawk or a hummingbird moth. It's very, very rare. You don't see them very much. These type of ones, like we said, are used they'll eat your tomato plants and stuff. I've also read that hornworms or tomato hornworms are also used to feed other animals. I mean, if you want to do that, go for it. If you want to feed it to another animal, read on how to do that. But if you have it to where that plant had pesticide, it is not. If you have it to where that plant, like I was saying, plant had pesticide on it or anything like that, you do not want to feed it to another animal because it will harm that other animal. Pesticides are not good for other animals, and they are also not good for these. They will actually hurt them. They will kill them. And a lot of people don't want them in their plants, so they'll do that because they don't want to do this process. But on a later note, see you guys then.